One of the windows broke, and I think that's how the water got in. And then one of our walls fell. I just got worried about him more than worrying about myself.
Pamela, in fact, these are good questions and questions that will be answered. The state of Texas has taken under Lieutenant Governor Patrick the ability where they are going to start next Monday these hearings where they will call people who are not federal employees, they're state and local employees, to make these determinations. We must understand that whether it's FEMA or whether it's a state or local government, these things are going to keep occurring. We need to be prepared, and it is no longer okay not to be sound with a plan and an understanding, in particular where children are involved. But these occurrences will happen again, and we need to be prepared. I think that the state of Texas has the authority and the responsibility and the means by which to make sure this is better. I expect them to do that. I am watching it. The Lieutenant Governor has told me that he wants to work with us when it is part of the federal nexus.
All right.
Excellent point, and thanks very much for coming in.
Thank you, Congressman. We appreciate it.
One of the windows broke, and I think that's how the water got in. And then one of our walls fell. I just got worried about him more than worrying about myself.
Along the Guadalupe River, nearly 6 miles downstream, is Camp La Junta, an all-boys camp where the brothers were. And before the floods, the camp was bustling and full of boys making foundational memories. You can see the sprawling property right by the Guadalupe River. This is video showing just how fast and furious the floodwaters came, knocking a cabin straight off its foundation. Fortunately for Camp La Junta, everyone was evacuated safely. The camp itself is now a skeleton of what it once was. And for the first time to CNN and the world, the owners are letting us see what it looks like now as they reflect on what happened that fateful night.
To see the growth and the giggles and the fun and the friendships that form here, that's what this is supposed to be. This is not supposed to look like this. This is not what we're supposed to be filled with.
Almost 2 weeks after catastrophic flooding hit Central Texas, the owners of Camp La Junta, Scott and Katie Fineski, are opening up for the first time to CNN and reflecting on how quickly deadly waters overran their idyllic campground full of campers on July 4th.
This was our dining hall. So this was a walled building. It had all of our tables. We had 35 giant wooden tables.
Awakened by the thunder in the overnight hours, the Fineskis started planning for rainy 4th of July activities until Katie looked out the window.
A lightning bolt came across the sky and lit up the athletic fields, and she looked at me and said, I think I see our dining hall table floating across the athletic field.
Water does not rise this fast here, and it's just something that was beyond belief.
So the Fineskis jumped into action, splitting up and going to each of the 18 cabins on the main grounds because there was no other way to communicate.
We've got speakers all through camp. We also have our own radio station that we broadcast announcements, but all of that stuff washed away.
Evacuation is one of those things that's on that emergency plan. And so when the counselors got the directive to pull the kids out of the cabin to go to the maintenance road, they knew exactly what to do. They knew how to do it. They knew the path that they were going to go.
One of the counselors helped campers climb onto wooden rafters to escape the rising waters in their cabin, as you see in this picture shared with CNN.
Water was rushing by with huge force and was about chest deep on Scott when we came down. We were on the high ground screaming at the counselors to get their kids in the rafters.
There's people in it.
As the water rushed through the camp, one of the cabins for adult staff was ripped from its foundation and began drifting away.
Never made it down to the river. It just floated down the back sidewalk and stopped at the tree right there.
The Fineskis emphasized the bravery and heroism of the counselors, mostly teenagers.
We were very fortunate in the fact that all of our kids were able to get out safely. And it's without them and without the way that they reacted, it could be a completely different story.
That reality of a different story becoming abundantly clear to them once the sun rose on July 4th, when they say a little girl from Camp Mystic was found alive next door after floating 5 miles in the torrent.
It was very shocking that she was there. It was very shocking that she was in good spirits. And it was very shocking that she wasn't injured.
Now they're grappling with the loss of friends from nearby camps. Jane Ragsdale from Heart of the Hills and Dick Eastland from Camp Mystic, along with 27 campers and counselors.
It's a really strong community. So losing Dick and losing Jane is just, it's unthinkable.
Our heart goes out to everybody at Mystic, everybody in the community. This is a disaster that's hitting a whole lot of people.
Despite the physical toll of the storm, they say the camp's spirit of grit and resilience is unchanged since its founding nearly 100 years ago.
We plan to be back in 2026. Feel like the work we do here is too important to miss, and it's just not an option for us to not rebuild and be back for the kids next year.
It's not camp right now. It will be. It will be. But it's hard at this moment to see and to know what it has been for so many years. And it's difficult.
And as you just heard, they have the rather ambitious goal of reopening the camp next summer. And while they did have property insurance, they don't have flood insurance to help in this crucial time of rebuilding. So for more on how you can help support Camp La Junta getting back to their mission of being a safe haven for boys, you can go to my Instagram at Pamela Brown CNN.
So nice of you to do that. It's so heartbreaking, especially for you and me, who were both campers and camp counselors for that matter. We had a very different experiences in our day, but it's still so powerful to see how these people are surviving.
And it is, and it's also really inspiring that they are so focused on bringing the camp experience back for next summer. I mean, they lost a lot of their camp.
I hope they do it, yeah.
But they really do have the grit and the resilience, and it was incredible to see and to talk to them, and we really just thank them for letting us in and sharing their story. It's only been 2 weeks, right?
Right.
Still very fresh and raw for everyone there in the whole
Thank you
country.
for being there and doing these amazing reports. Really powerful.
Thank you. And I know a lot of people are wondering how they can help. So for more information about how you can help Texas flood victims, go to cnn.com/impact or text flood to 7077. 70, I should say. We'll be right back.